Let's stay in this land of fiction, though, Ray, because you brought up an interesting topic a couple weeks ago. Songs in fictional films or movies, Ray, but not just on the soundtrack. That's not what you were asking about. So let the people know what you brought to the table, what you wanted to contribute this week. That I think is a really good question.
Yeah, so I thought, and this is just my internal monologue always racing about what is my question for feeding the ducks gonna be on a daily basis. I was like, let me start writing these things down. And one question that came to mind, as I was watching clips from the show Martin, very underrated show, doesn't get the love that it truly deserves, should be considered one of the best, if not the best sitcoms ever made, in my opinion. But I stumbled upon this clip that I used to watch, again, going back to my video renting and DVD renting days when I would read like the whole first season of Martin. One particular song came to mind, and it was when Marty Payne had to, I think, Junior, who ran, or not Junior, but Stan, who ran.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Garrett Morris. He has so many great characters.
He was Junior on Jamie Foxx.
But Stan, who used to run the radio station that Martin worked at as a DJ, he ends up leaving the radio station and doing his own thing. And so then the radio station, WZUP, ends up getting picked up by this country music conglomerate, and ends up turning it into a country music station. And so to get into the part, Marty Marr turns into a country music singer, and his beloved hit was "Love You From Behind." If you haven't heard it, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It'd be one of the funniest things that you've seen that's like a minute and a half long.
If I can't love you from the front, I love you from behind. Like, whoa. Like, we didn't catch on to that when we was kids, right?
Exactly. And so I thought,
what else is there to catch on from?
Right.
You know, hey, I was an innocent, pure young person back in them days, Girard. I didn't know. About the back door when I was that age. And so I thought he was like, hey, if I can't love you face to face, I can love you when you're walking away. I didn't know what he really meant was I'm gonna be up in them cheeks. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Neither did I, but I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was
innocence must have been special.
Yeah. So it hit me. What are some good songs? It could be good songs, it could be funny songs or humorous songs. But what are some songs that come to mind from movies, from TV, that are sung by fictional artists? And I'm trying to keep it to fictional artists. We're not going to go into musicals. We're not going to go into Wicked and all this stuff, but actual, or not actual, but fictional musicians within the space of a film. And yeah, again, it's not going to be based off, like, of course you can pick anything from Dreamgirls, but we're talking about movies that weren't specifically based in music, but have like one artist in it, or one artist in it that had a song.
So first of all, shout out to that episode of Martin. That is one of my favorite early episodes of Martin, because at the end, spoiler alert, Martin goes through all this trouble to become a country music DJ. And at the end of the day, the owner's like, well, hell, boy, I didn't want you to become a country singer. I wanted you to make this country thing more urban. And he fires Martin. And that's a lesson in life. We can't get nowhere if you're non-traditional. Sometimes, even if you play the game still wins at the end. But this is a great question, Ray, because there's so many ways we could go with this. Like, immediately my first thought when he brought this question up, Girard, was a movie that low key. I ain't even gonna say low key no more. I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. I love this movie. It is one of the most subversive movies of its time. It's dumb, it's silly, but it's also really clever, and it's got a killer soundtrack. Ray Williams, we talking about Josie and the Pussycats in the building.
Oh, of course.
Okay,
Josie and the Pussycats. Shout out to Rosario Dawson and them. But not only like all the Pussycat songs are fire. Pretend to be nice is a banger. You know what I'm saying? Why do you do what you do to me, baby? Taking my confidence, making me crazy. Why can't you pretend to be nice? Because then everything would be all right. They got another one where it's like Three Small Words. Ray Williams talking about falling in love for the first time. That's a good one. But honestly, since I'm a guy and we all have internalized misogyny, ladies and gentlemen, we just need to recognize it and adjust our behavior. My favorite group off of Josie and the Pussycats was De Jour, the boy band starring Donald Faison and Breckin Meyer and Seth Green, because they had a couple hits. They had Around the World with De Jour, Get on Your Motorbike with De Jour, We Going on a Trip with De Jour, Banging Around the World, You Wish You Could Be Friends with De Jour. So they already let you know what time it was when De Jour came to town. But then they had a second song, Girard, which goes back to, you maybe being a little bit more worldly than me and Ray when we was kids. They got a song called Backdoor Lover. And it is off the chain. It is exactly what you think it is about. It is exactly how you think it would be sung. Backdoor Lover, open up the gate and I sneak in behind. And it's a beautiful, beautiful song about love, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the first group that comes to mind for me, Girard, is that whole Josie and the Damn Pussycats movie. That was a fun movie. I think it's an underrated movie, and it's certainly not a movie that a lot of traditional folks or non-traditional folks talk about. But yeah, man, it's a good time.
Back in my non-cable days, Josie and the Pussycats definitely appeared on a Saturday UPN movie feature, so I was able to partake of the movie during that time period. So yeah, I have seen the movie and it is a good pick. For me, my heart, my head instantly when I hear this question goes one place and one place only, and we have to thank one man and one man only. I have to thank Thomas Washington that when he sat by that door on that fateful day and was able to be called into the Disney boardroom and get the opportunity to make the blackest Disney movie ever. I'm talking about a Goofy movie, and I'm talking about we just gonna transplant Tevin Campbell into Powerline. You got Stand Out. Come on, Stand Out above the crowd. Hey. Come on, I don't even need before we get cut. Not see so, but there, Eye to Eye. Come on now. What a film! What a powerful. And an artist basically transplanting Michael Jackson into cartoon form with Tevin Campbell's voice. There you go. Because Powerline.
Do you know the history about Powerline, Girard?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But
originally, Powerline was supposed to be Bobby Brown. He was originally who Disney had picked to be Powerline, but because y'all know how Bobby Brown get down, he ain't exactly a family-friendly artist, especially not back in those days. So they kicked Bobby off the project and brought in Tevin.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that from one of the documentaries I've seen, because it was a more of a soundtrack-focused documentary around Tevin and what he was doing, and then bringing him in. But yes, I do remember the design actually being done off of kind of slightly Bobby Brown from that time period.
With the fade.
Nah, I love that. That's my guy, Powerline. So that's the man, and that's my pick.
Oh, that would have been a whole different movie though with Bobby. It's like, this just in, Powerline has been arrested again.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know how well we would look back at the songs, do the things. Maybe by now things would have recovered, because I think by now we good with stuff. There would be that dark history.
Yes.
That where we'd have to talk over it. But nah. I love Tevin Campbell. I'm a Tevin Campbell fan. I'm a 90s R&B fan just through and through. So to have that, and to have that be a Disney film about a dad taking his son on a trip. I'm not trying to go any deeper into that, but like that whole movie has just great music and great themes to it. And to have that powerful artist, hey, I'm with it. So, but
That's
Ray,
great.
who you
Great
rocking
pick.
with? Who have you circled back to in this whole? Since this is your question, what are
Mhm.
you circling back to?
Well, as we like to say on here, I asked it. I'm gonna answer it.
Mhm.
Very good pick, by the way, Girard. Very good pick. And I think that was kind of like an impetus as well as far as me thinking of this question, because I think somebody actually this was kind of like a trend on TikTok or something like that. So it was kind of sitting subconsciously in my brain until I was able to kind of put words to it. Like if I'm thinking of like serious actual songs, I don't know if you guys, and this is very, very traditional, very niche traditional. I don't know if you guys heard of the movie Once. Um, but it's pretty much a movie about, and I know it's not a it's traditional, but it's not a traditional musical. So it's like actual artists playing musicians on like busking around the streets of Ireland, I believe. And
Okay.
so it's this one song called When Your Mind's Made Up. Beautiful song, like one of my favorite songs. So if I was going with a serious, so yeah, it's and I don't know if you ever heard of this song, Falling Slowly, blah 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 blah. Again, very traditional. I
You
think
lost us on that one, Ray.
yeah, Falling Slowly was
Slowly.
yeah, falling.
You lost me.
Uh, it was about
It's
10
the ba
years
ba
ago.
ba 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 for me.
Yeah. Falling Slow. It was nominated for Oscar for best song
Okay.
about 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. But that's not my favorite song from that movie. My favorite song is When Your Mind's Made Up. So that's a beautiful song. But if we're going and I'm gonna cheat and go in like a funny route. So it's like my serious song and then some funny song. So like we could think of several ones from Martin alone. Like of course you had Love You From Behind.
Yeah.
Then you also had Pick Up the Pieces, a beautiful rendition.
Pick up
Get the kazoo. Your
the
man.
pieces. Shout out to Tracy Morgan.
Shout out. And then I also mentioned this to Nate during our chat in the group chat. I could think of several songs from Half Baked. Include from the rap artist. I forgot what the rap artist's name was.
Sir Smokes a Lot. Because
Sir
of course.
Yeah. When times are hard, you pick up that card with the smiley face.
The funniest part about that, and again, Half Baked is a great movie. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's the dumbest movie in the world, but it's a great movie. It still holds up, even if you're not under the influence. But when we get I need to talk to Samson, and he like rubs the lamp, and like some fake I Dream a Genie lady pops out. She's like, "What do you wish, master?" And he's like, "Bitch, you know what I want? I need to talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon like that chick Alice Crandon, because it's hard being black and gifted. Sometimes you just want to throw it all down there and get lifted." I'm like, this man is a genius. Bars. It is hard being black and gifted, Ray.
It is. It is. But the one that I'll go to and kind of circling back and kind of making this full circle, there was a downtrodden aspiring artist who had to resort to becoming a mechanic. And so I'm gonna go with Don't You Know No Good.
Excellent.
Because it's only one line during the whole song, but he sings it with so much passion.
Don't you know no good? Don't you know no good?
And then when he gets the backup singers, when Gina
Yes.
and Pam, oh, it puts it all together. So
and he's just holding out the note, and they're like gagging for air. But don't you know no good? don't you know no good? They just like, come on, man. That's a great pick. That's a great pick, Ray.
You gonna make me go back and rewatch Martin all the way through, because that's one thing I've never done, is start to finish watch Martin. I'm just going off of my old childhood memory of watching it on TV and when it's popped up on cable. But no, I that's one flew over my head for me. So
I think Ray's right. Like, Martin is real underrated, man. Like, we all loved it, but I think Martin is real underrated, particularly. And this is not to throw shade at like a show like Friends or Seinfeld, which are kind of around the same time frame as Martin, but it's like, yeah, like if you really sit down and watch what Martin Lawrence and that whole team was doing, like, yeah, that brother was cooking in terms of what a sitcom could be.
Yeah. And I actually want to thank you, Girard, because you kind of opened up these memories when you brought up like favorite lines that you just be saying from movies. And it was like, man, I could do a whole thing on Martin by itself that I just be saying to myself. What we saying out loud.
Go King Beef, go King Beef, go King Beef.
I always tell my brothers, like, you ain't got no job, man.
Witty Hutton. Who is Witty Hutton, brother man? That brother man can't spell.
Dreams are repressed desires of things we wish we could have.
Yeah, Martin was excellent, man. Real quick, Ray, before we move on to what we got to do every time we sit up for the parlay, I will give an honorable mention, because this is something that always happened in TV shows back in the days, but never once has it happened in my real life, Girard, where a spontaneous song and dance number breaks out at a party or at a function. Yeah. And there was one in particular that always sticks me to this day, Ray, because it was instructional as well as entertaining. Because if you want to do the Steve Urkel dance, all you got to do is hitch up your pants, bend your knees, and stick out your pelvis. I'm telling you, brother, it's better than Elvis. Do it. Do it. Everybody. To the Urkel. How do all them people know the choreography, Ray? I have never been in a place, Girard, where spontaneous choreography broke out and everybody knew all the steps. Even the traditional people was on beat and had the steps down.
They just picked it up so easily.
You just instinct. It just happens sometimes. You just,
when you feel
once
it.
in a lifetime, you are all in the same zone. It's like the Mandela effect, but all the choreography, everything at once goes into everybody's brain, and they can all just
like in the fictional universe of Family Matters. I know that's something like even like 20 years later, the people in the Family Matters universe, they're like, y'all remember that one time in high school when that dude just started dancing and we all knew the steps? That was crazy, wasn't it? You know what? It really was.
Did you learn those?
Right.
I just knew for some reason. I don't know why, but I just knew them.
Not only did we know the steps, but we knew the words too. Like, do the Urkel. Do the Urkel. Like who wrote this? Manuel Miranda?
Oh man.
Oh yes. That was a great topic, Ray. I'm glad you brought that to the table, man.
Well, I'm glad that you guys found it amusing and entertaining, and that you guys are able to think of some picks for it. So.
And that might again, that like much like with the service members question, that might be something we come back to from time to time, because we just scratched the surface of the songs that we could get into, because there's so many more songs that just happened in these shows and in these films that, like, yeah, to this day I still just think about them. So great question, Ray. But you know what else I think about? Why there are so many hungry animals in the world, and we can't feed them all, Ray. We can all do our part. And so what we do here in the Nefarious Media, what we do here at the Parlay, we go down to the pond and we go feed these ducks, Ray.